decades in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And when I hear the Prime Minister say that he can pick up the phone and call the Premier of China and he can call Maduro in Venezuela, once you're the Prime Minister of a country, Matt, you're head of government.
I know.
Head of state, especially when it's an executive president. You can call any Prime Minister. You can call any. It's not anything. I mean, if for example, the United Democratic Party were to win election in Dominica. Okay, the Chinese, believe me, they haven't got as long as you embrace the one China policy, that's what they're concerned about. They're not too concerned about whether it's Roosevelt Scary, whether it's Dennis Linton, as long as you embrace and you endorse the one China policy.
But it makes it seem like it's a personal thing, like this is a Roosevelt Scary thing.
Well, he does, and people tend to believe him. But believe me, once Linton is the Prime Minister of Dominica, whoever is Prime Minister, the international community, whether it's the UN, whether it's the OAS, or other countries, believe me, the European Commission will support in development in Dominica long before Roosevelt Scary became Prime Minister. The East and West Coast roads were resurfaced and rehabilitated in the mid to late 1970s. Patrick was in power. So, I mean, it's not about, he makes it as if it's a personal, it has to be the leader. It's not. They deal with countries and not individuals.
Okay, let's move on from China, and I know that there may be a lot more questions about China as we move along this morning. But the United Nations, are you satisfied with the kind of relationship our Prime Minister is having with the UN? We've been given a lot of reports. Of course, our ambassador there is on the ground as the campaign manager for the Dominican Labour Party. A lot of times we have heard reports about he missing in action.
Yeah, Matt, there has been an unfortunate total lack of presence of Dominica at the United Nations since March 2010 when Mr. Henderson, or rather Dr. Henderson, took charge there at our mission there. Vince Henderson is fully paid by the taxpayer, but he's never there. So when it comes to our support for UN resolutions and related voting, for Dominica, we are non-existent. And most disturbing is the fact that the Prime Minister seems, Mr. Scary, to have little regard for the UN General Assembly. He's been there about 2 or 3 times in the last 10 years, and he has developed this tendency to send the president, who is a ceremonial president, to address the UN. And that is a worry, because that brings the office of the president into disrepute, because the president is not, for example, like the president of Guyana, who has executive powers. The president is purely a ceremonial rule. So the Prime Minister sending Mr. Savre and before that Mr. Dr. Liverpool to the UN has been a practice he's been practicing for some time, which is not in the best interest of Dominica.
You're saying it shows little regard for the United Nations?
I don't think he does. I mean, Vince Henderson is our ambassador. He's here as a campaign manager, which I'm not sure, it may not be illegal, but I don't think it's appropriate that you're supposed to be at the United Nations, although there's not much happening right now as we speak. But still, you have to be at the United Nations. That is the job that you're paid, and right now he's in Dominica for a month. The last election, he also managed the campaign. That is a worrying sign. But Vince Henderson, believe me, when it comes to the United Nations voting in committee, he's been missing in action, and he's been fully paid by the taxpayer, and that situation is not acceptable.
Well, Vince, from what I gather, has pursued his doctoral degree while he has been ambassador.
Well, Matt, that there's no difficulty in somebody pursuing their personal goals, which is good, but not at the expense of the Dominican taxpayer. I know Crispin Gregor was at the UN for 7.5 years. It is a very taxing, very punishing job because he had little or no help in terms of staff at the in New York. He collapsed twice. He had to be hospitalized twice. So it tells you the volume of work that's involved. And the fact that Mr. Henderson found the time to do a law degree or to complete a law degree or to do a PhD, that tells you how much time he's devoting to his substantive post, which is represent us at the UN.
Okay, let's take a phone call here. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Matt. My tuning is messing up, so I'm not sure if I'm right on time.
Yeah, you're there. You're there.
That's Brother Lawrence.
All right, Sean and you, I'm really happy to see some old 305ers this morning. I'm calling from New York. Sean, I just want to add some clarity to that China policy. As convenient as it may have been, I think at our juncture of development, when we transferred from the Taiwanese, it was somewhat disadvantageous for 2 reasons. For one, we lost a mindset that the Taiwanese had of self-dependence. self-dependence, a very entrenched Taiwanese philosophy. And in their means of agriculture and fishing and all those very constructs that we needed for development, we lost it in that Taiwanese ending of relationship.
Yeah.
But what compounded the problem even more was Roosevelt's spirit and his relationship manner by which he entered into the Chinese. It was personal. It was a $5 million personal bet by the Chinese on a mentality that they had already been alluded to as being primal and very, very, doesn't have that concept of leadership. That was an engineered thing in terms of Roosevelt's spirit. You understand? Roosevelt came to New York and listened to Preston talk about the development plan involving bridges, involving water reclamation, involving some serious fundamental development structures that would have taken Dominica leaps and bounds ahead of St. Lucia and all these other countries. He opted instead for some simple stuff and not enough enforcement on his behalf because money was his greed. And we have to remind the people of this Chinese relationship and Roosevelt's character. I'm listening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.